Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, the NFL offseason is always buzzing with rumors, trades, and strategic moves, but this particular story has been gaining steam over the last few days, and it's not just another idle rumor. It's about a potential blockbuster that could reshape the Washington Commanders' wide receiver core, and quite possibly, their entire outlook for the upcoming season. We're talking about the possibility of acquiring DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears, a move that could have ripple effects not only for Washington, but for the NFC East as a whole. And believe me, this isn't just a pie-in-the-sky scenario. There are solid reasons why this trade could become a reality, and it's worth diving deep into all the details. To understand the significance of this potential move, we need to look at the current situation with the Commanders. As many of you know, the team's star wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, has been dealing with a holdout, which has left the team in a delicate spot heading into training camp. McLaurin, a proven playmaker and a fan favorite, is entering the final year of his contract, and there's a lot of speculation about whether this situation could lead to a trade if things don't get resolved soon. The team's management is clearly aware that holding onto McLaurin long-term could be risky if the contract stalemate drags out. This opens the door for some strategic maneuvering, and that's where DJ Moore comes into focus. Now, you might wonder, why Moore? Well, he's a talented receiver who has shown flashes of brilliance in recent seasons, and more importantly, he fits the profile of what the Commanders need right now. Moore is a player with a rare combination of speed, route-running ability, and hands. He's been a consistent target for the Bears and has the potential to be a true one receiver if given the right opportunity. The interesting part is that the Bears, despite investing heavily in their receiving core in the 2025 NFL Draft, might be willing to part ways with Moore. Why? Because they've drafted two promising receivers this year, Colston Loveland with the 10th overall pick and Luther Burden at the 41st. Plus, last year, they picked Rome Odun's 9th overall. So, it's clear the Bears are prioritizing youth and future potential at receiver, which might make Moore expendable, especially considering their recent investments. This is where the trade scenario becomes compelling. The Bears could see an opportunity to recoup some draft capital and clear a roster spot by trading away Moore. And the Washington Commanders, on the other hand, are in a prime position to make a move. They need a reliable, experienced receiver to complement McLaurin if he stays, or to serve as a key piece in their offense if he ends up being traded. Now, the trade details are still speculative, but the suggested deal involves the Bears receiving a 2027 second-round pick and a 2026 sixth-round pick in exchange for Moore. It's a deal that makes sense for both teams when you consider the Bears' draft strategy and the Commanders' immediate needs. Think about it. The Commanders currently lack a second-round pick in 2026, so acquiring that 2027 second-rounder could be a strategic move for future drafts. The sixth-round pick isn't a game-changer, but it's enough of a sweetener to make the deal attractive for Chicago. Most importantly, for Washington, adding Moore would significantly boost their passing game, especially considering the current depth chart. With McLaurin possibly holding out or negotiating, having Moore as a reliable target could make all the difference. Remember, Moore isn't just a temporary fix. He's under contract through 2029, with his first free agency opportunity only coming in 2028. That's a long-term asset that could stabilize the receiving core for years to come. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The Commanders could see this trade as a way to prepare for the worst-case scenario with McLaurin. If he doesn't sign a new deal, or if he decides to hold out into the season, Washington would still have a top-tier receiver in Moore to lead their aerial attack. It's a strategic move that provides flexibility and options, something the team has been lacking in recent seasons. Plus, let's not forget, with a talented quarterback like Jaden Daniels, who had an impressive rookie year, Moore could flourish even more. Daniels has shown flashes of being a franchise quarterback, and adding a receiver like Moore would only accelerate his development. And speaking of the quarterback situation, it's worth noting that Washington's offense last year was promising, but it lacked that consistent, game-changing receiver. With Moore in the fold, defenses would have to adjust, and that could open up opportunities for the entire offense. Moore's ability to create separation and make contested catches would complement McLaurin's route running and speed, creating a formidable duo that could be nearly unstoppable if managed correctly. The potential synergy between them could elevate the Commanders' offensive production to new heights, making them more competitive in the NFC East and beyond. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture here. The NFC East is arguably one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL. The Eagles are reigning champions, the Cowboys are always in the hunt with their star-studded roster, and the Giants are quietly building a team that could surprise everyone. For Washington, making a bold move like trading for DJ Moore could be a statement of intent. It signals that they're serious about contending and not just rebuilding for the sake of it. The addition of Moore would give them a legitimate shot at making a deep playoff run, especially if Daniels continues to develop. FanDuel already has Washington with odds of -130 to make the playoffs this year, which is pretty impressive considering their recent history, and they're sitting at +2100 for Super Bowl odds. That's not just wishful thinking, it's a team on the rise, and adding Moore could push those numbers even further in the right direction. Of course, nothing is confirmed yet, and the NFL offseason is always full of surprises. But the logic behind this potential trade is solid. The Bears get draft capital, the Commanders get a proven weapon, and both teams address their respective needs. For the Commanders, it's about adding a top-tier receiver without giving up their entire future. For Chicago, it's about retooling their receiving core while accumulating picks for the upcoming drafts. The timing is perfect, especially with McLaurin's situation hanging over the team, and the potential for this move to reshape the NFC East landscape is significant. If the trade goes through, it could be a game-changer for Washington, elevating their offense and giving them a real shot at making some serious noise this season. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this possibility? Do you think DJ Moore would be the perfect addition to the team? Are you worried about McLaurin's holdout, or do you believe Moore can fill that gap seamlessly? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your opinion truly matters, and I love hearing your insights. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analyses about your beloved Commanders, so stay tuned for all the latest news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like these, the 2025 NFL season could be one of Washington's most thrilling yet. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Commanders.